Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Vinny Makes the Hall of Fame case for ... And I'm pretty excited about this one because, you see, when you talk about rings, we talk about championship rings in the NBA because that's really what it's all about. You want to get as many championships as possible.
Yeah.
And Vinny's going to tell you about somebody who's got a lot more. I believe 11. Am I correct on that?
He has 10.
Is 10. All right, well, 10.
Still a lot.
Either way, it's a hell of a lot. And somebody that you don't know all that well, somebody that should be more celebrated than he is. And that's why Vinny's going to tell you about that. He's going to tell you about an assistant coach, an executive, somebody who is a bit of a analytic pioneer, but someone who remained with an organization, probably could have done some other things, chose to stay said, you know what, the grass isn't always greener. Vinny, who are we talking about?
Talking about the man that they call Bill Bertka, a man who is still with us today at the ripe old age of 96.
95. Oh, 96. Okay.
And he is sharp, and he's sharper as attack than both you or me combined. And I stand by that.
Sharper than me ain't hard.
Well, sharper than me is harder.
There you go.
But this man is, I said it for other guys, he is a Giga Chad. This man is a legend. This man, what he has done for the game of basketball, and by the game, I don't, even though I usually mean a more expansive term, the entire, that I mean, he changed the scope of how it's like to develop people in basketball. He did this. He was so brilliant.
So let's talk about who he is before he got to the Lakers. And Bertka is somebody who, wow, I mean, like, you think about the dynasties that he was a part of, the Pat Riley era, the Phil Jackson era, the current era, the LeBron era.
Yeah, he's a part of that.
Actually, would he be the only one, with the exception of the ownership, who would have championships?
I don't know if he's still with the Lakers right now. That's why I said 10 and not 11. But he does have. I don't know if he has more than, the buses. But
okay,
if you were.
But how did he get there first?
Okay, let's start with his origins.
Yeah,
he grew up in Akron. Sounds similar. And played at the YMCA, where he became a huge fan of basketball. And following World War II, he founded his education and went to Kent State University and played for the basketball team. Okay. Very, very humble beginnings. Grew up in Ohio, served our country, went to school. And he began a journey that would take him to the West, because he would be one that would coach high school for 3 years and would also at Kent Roosevelt High School and Midland School, and would spend several years at Hancock College, and he would even coach back at Kent State, his alma mater.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. When he was at Hancock College in particular, the team that he led had a 41-game winning streak and won the state community college championship in 1957. Mm-hmm. And when he was the head coach of Kent State, not too long after, he was the youngest. He was one of the youngest head coaches in America for collegiate basketball.
So
it's really cool.
How did he go from there to the NBA?
Well, in 1961, he left coaching and he wanted to be the director of community recreation for Santa Barbara. And he was there for a decade. But
UNC Santa Barbara, or not UNC, UC Santa
yeah, yeah,
Barbara. I just
yes.
said
Santa,
UNC, like I just made
yes,
North Carolina Santa Barbara, but yeah, sorry.
yeah. But during this time, he developed something with his wife called Bertka's Views. And it became the most successful college scouting service in the entire country, and it operated from 1961 to 1995. Most colleges throughout the entire nation went to Bertka's Viewed as the gold standard for what other scouts would say, what other coaches would say, who would make it to the NBA. He would he was someone who was a springboard for other people to get into scouting, and his service was the one that was used for most. Not only that, during that time also, he had his own radio show too. He had his own radio show during the
Is
70s.
that based in LA?
It was in Santa Barbara,
Okay.
and he won 3 Golden Mike Awards,
Oh,
are the highest awards you can get for Southern California. So he's a 3-time winner of that. So this builds into that idea of truly a contributor, entire career resume. Bertka already is building that strong case. And I haven't even gotten into the meat of the story. I've only just talked about the lettuce and the tomatoes right here.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, I like that, the lettuce and tomatoes.
Lettuce and tomatoes, yes.
All right, I like it.
Yes.
All right, so from here, he went to he worked for the Lakers, and then for a brief time was the GM for the New Orleans Jazz, was he not?
Very briefly, 1977 and 1981. And he
How,
even went with them when they went to Utah.
oh, we did. Okay,
Yes,
I
he did.
didn't realize that. But how did he go? So, but it's when he went back to Los Angeles that everything really, because he went back to work under, was it Pat Riley at this
Yeah,
point?
but even when he was with the Lakers, he was the first ever full-time scout in league history
So he was a
as well.
scout slash, was he head scout and assistant coach or?
Well, yeah,
Yeah, okay,
he would be their head scout if he was the first ever full-time scout. Yeah,
okay, but also while working as an assistant coach.
correct.
Okay,
He's a
because
busy guy,
yeah, so that's why I just want to establish that he was working double duty. Okay,
and he had no problem doing it.
awesome. All right, so 81 is when he comes back to LA, and I want to say comes back because he had a brief time as an assistant coach before he went to New Orleans.
Yeah,
So
NBA champion in 1972.
so in 81 after that, so like who was some of the people that he helped scout and then develop?
There's some guys you might heard of, like during this time when he was with Pat Riley. He was the one that helped. He was one. I think he was one of the guys that brought McAdoo and Haywood in. I'm not entirely sure.
Mhm.
And when he was there, he with Riley created the plus minus system.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he created the plus minus system for player performance for the Lakers.
You mean like the
And
box score that we use now in basketball reference and stuff like that?
yeah, he that was him.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was him. And he was with the team for a while,
Mhm.
continued to still be with them up until he was an assistant coach all the way up until the Phil Jackson days, until 2001. So the second of the three-peats, he was an assistant coach and was their head analytics and scouting of all, like in terms of like the assistant coaches. You have the Tex Winner, who was more about the formation of the plays and whatnot, and you had Bill Bertka, who was the one that was more the scouter's mind and the
Mhm.
developer kind of assistant coach.
You know,
But when he was done in 2001, he became the director of scouting, and he held that until 2012, and he won 3 more titles. And to this day, he's still with the Lakers. He even won his 11th championship as their head consultant. So 11 championships.
You know,
11.
it's fascinating to me, Vinny, when you say that, because like when we think of analytics, we think of younger, more tech savvy guys. We don't think of somebody who's 95 at this point.
96.
Well, 96. Sorry, my apologies. Um, the fact that he was this far ahead of the curve, and that the whole plus minus box system is because of him. That I didn't know, because I was doing a bit like a lot of research, obviously, because I know who we're going to be talking about. That for me is like such an obvious thing, but it was always there, but people didn't think of it. I mean, like I look at box scores every day,
Hmm.
and it's like, okay, great. Player X scored 30 points. While he's on the court, your whole thing is minus 26. You know?
Ugh.
All right, well, I guess what did you do?
Probably not very good.
Well, in the overall scale, obviously there's far more other intangibles going along with this, but you know, there's something to that, and we see a whole lot of that, like where I guess when we're looking at a stat when it comes on, when again, let's say I don't know why he's popping into my head, James Harden. When James Harden's on the floor, uh, they are scoring more, less. I mean, maybe less because it's James.
Yeah, we could talk about. Yeah, I will mention this. Yeah, the Sixers won that trade. I know it's early. Yikes.
Could be, could be.
No,
We'll
no,
see.
no, they did.
Uh,
At least so
James,
far, they did.
yeah. Well, you and I could do a show on just that whole on James Harden alone, but that's neither here nor there. Uh,
Yes.
no, I mean, like for me, that's fascinating. Is that why you picked him, because of the analytics or just the overall thing? Because you are the guru of assistant coaches.
Assistant coaches, contributors.
Troopers, yeah.
Yes, he
Yeah.
fits the bill of every single metric. He was a broadcaster. He was a coach. He was an assistant coach. He was a scout. He was a head scout. He was a consultant. He's won many championships, and
And
he's
on the
also
radar.
96. And he under the radar, and he's also
Well, no,
96.
no, he is on the radar because he was nominated in the, because Basketball Hall of Fame does their preliminary thing, and it's
Yes. He was mentioned a couple of years ago, but I haven't seen him like in a year or two lately, which is weird because Bertka's 96 and he's still scouting games. But like I said, he's an unbelievable. And I love giving it to deceased members, especially like very, very old one. But this is an instance where it's a very, very old relic of the game that is still with us. 96 years old. There's
he's
not
like
many
a relic
96.
though, because like a relic to me is like somebody who can't move with the times. He helped shape the times, from what you're
Oh
describing.
yeah, like you think of like how when Art McNally was inducted into to
Yeah,
Canton,
yeah, yeah.
took
Uh,
way too
Pro football
long.
rep, for those wondering.
So many refs that have been snubbed over the years. Oh, I can go on and on, but he made it at the age of 96 years old, and he was inducted at the age of 97, and he died a few months later. It's very bittersweet for me because I'm so happy he got to see it while he was alive, but I don't know how much he was able to even really see.
Oh,
For
what was his faculties though?
he was aware. His family told him, and they were very very happy.
It's
But,
different.
but
97 is different for different people.
yeah,
Yeah.
but for Bill Burka, like he's still walking, he's still working.
I
It's
was reading on NBA.com before this. So there's this great little 5-part series, or a 6-part series, just all about the different people that he sort of like dealt with, including the person behind you, Kobe Bryant,
mhm.
who was
Yeah.
said like in his early years was a pain in the ass, but
Hey, that's another legendary player he coached.
right, but just sort of like praised Kobe's desire to be challenged.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say the Hall of Fame players that were under his coaching with the Lakers
Yeah, please do
that
that.
I'll say it because it's a pretty decently sized list because of course the Lakers have a lot of Hall of Famers as they should. Been a very very successful organization over the many years, going back to their inception, really.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm gonna just
I'm
list
ready.
right here. Okay, Gail Goodrich, Bob McAdoo, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, um, Dennis Rodman 1 year. Well, Karl Malone,
Mhm.
Jamal Wilkes, Gary Payton, also that same 1 year. Mitch Richmond, very, very briefly when he was with scouting. See who else. Shaquille O'Neal, obviously. Vlade Divac, Kobe Bryant, and yeah. And there's also some other. I mean, Michael Cooper might also make the Hall of Fame. Like,
Well, what
so,
about Pete Maravich? Was he under him too?
yeah, he was one with
Yeah,
the Jazz
yeah, Pistol Pete.
when it was.
So yeah, I mean, like, this is a good one. I mean, like, when you sort of presented that one, I was like, okay, and then I did my own little personal deep dive. Oh yeah, this is a Vinny special.
It is a Vinny special
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
Like he. Hmm.
I think it'd be a great one to sort of like see that happen. If that were to happen, okay, let's say they induct him. Who would you like to see as his inductor?
Um, I guess. Hmm.
Like Pat Riley, maybe, or
Yeah,
Phil
Pat Riley
Jackson?
would make a lot of sense, as you know they help both make plus minus. If he's still alive, I would by then I would love to see Del Harris,
Oh,
because they were both longtime assistants. No. Well, longtime assistants. He was a head coach briefly with the Lakers. In fact,
mhm.
when Harris was fired with the Lakers, he became an interim very, very briefly at 71 years old.
When he decided to make an appearance. For those just listening, this is Winnie the Mini Dash, and sometimes she'll just show up on shows.
Hey, Winnie.
Hello. So yeah, no, that's a really good one. There's so much other stuff that we do here in the Bucknerverse. The show that I do weekly with Evan Nolan, where we look at Hall of Fame related shows. Vinny's a big part of a lot of other things that we do, including a lot of live shows where we are doing our open Pro Football Hall of Fame debates, who we really want to be as a part of this. There's also some shows I do with Andrea Tessman and Brad Nelson. How the hell was this a hit? How the hell was some of this stuff a hit? My God,
Uh,
look at some of
ta
that.
Tastes change, I guess.
Yes, they do. They do. And there's a whole whack of other shows coming soon. Backup shows that, well, not backup, backlogged rather, from the summer that'll be coming up soon. With that, wherever you are, wherever you may be, make this a great day because it's not coming again. Take care, everyone.
See